Hi everyone, it is me, Lyric Soul Tarot here, and it is cold here, you guys. Like, it's freezing cold. I got out of bed this morning to go to work, and I checked the temperature because I thought it was weird. One side of my window was completely like iced over. I checked the weather and it was -3 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's not with the wind chill. It's supposed to get 20 to 25 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit tonight. So cold. So I'm up here in my nice warm room making a video for you guys. It's warmer up here than it is downstairs. So I just wanted to, I have a few videos that I want to make. I thought I could make an unboxing review for you guys today. But with the holiday and everything like that, mail got pushed back. I know I was supposed to get them in the mail today before 8 p.m. It is currently 3 p.m. and I will lose the light soon. Instead of letting this day go to waste, I'm just going to make a different video than I was going to. But there is an unboxing review coming out, and I am also going to make a kind of like a hits and misses of my 2017 decks. So be on the lookout for that. Today I am just going to do a small altar tour and a small brief tarot shelf tour. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the tarot shelf because I could spend hours sitting there just talking about all my decks. I will do that, and then I am also going to do a hashtag that Eveline Timeless put out, I think it was last week, from part of her tarot advent calendar. I will do that. First, let's get into the little ultra tour and I show you other things on my shelves and everything like that. So let's just get into that right away. All right, so my altar is still decorated for Yule, and I say decorated with quotations. It's decorated. Ooh, look at, I got some incense on my finger. I haven't gotten the moon box yet for January, and that's primarily what I decorate my altar with, is stuff from the moon box. So it's very minimalistic right now and very sparse, but I actually like the minimalistic look. I feel like it's much more streamlined. It's much more like not cluttered, and everything else in my life is super cluttered. So here you have the Yule card that came in the moon box, and then the sun sigil. And then when I get my new sigil, what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on getting like a big frame and putting all like some sigils together in the frame and then hanging that up on the wall in my living room. Just a white candle from Yankee Candle. I don't like looking at like the labels and stuff like that. It's really weird, but I don't like looking at the labels, so I always turn them around. But this is coconut and beach flower. But there's my white candle. There's my ritual bow for from the moon box. Oh, I love it. The Yule spray, the candle that they gave us, my incense, and okay. So this card and this card here, they were both given to me by a very dear friend of mine who I actually went to for card readings, and she just has amazing insights, and I haven't seen her in a long while, so. But she gave me these two cards. It means a lot to me, and it's something that like I want to always keep in mind. So I keep those on my altar, and then I have the crystal that I got in the moon box in my Kuan Yin card from the moon box, which I have a story about this later on in the video. And this is a little tiger figurine that I also will tell you about later on in the video. And then these two cards are my little extra cards that I got with my decks. So I just keep those on my altar as well, taking in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. I need that energy in my life right now. And then the Knight of Swords, Page of Swords. This is the only candle holder that I had. It's a little Easter bunny which it actually fits. It was my Oma's, and I'm very much into the pastel aesthetic, so I prefer pastel things. Pastel makes me feel happy, so I like to surround myself with pastel things. So it doesn't work, but it works for me. But I'm probably gonna get a different one. And then I have my incense holder and my incense. Keep my lighter right there. And then this is, again, pastel and bunny. Do you see a theme here? I keep this, I got this from Target, by the way, for like $3. But I keep my herbs in here from the moon box. I'm hoping to get a ritual bowl so I can actually burn those. I have nothing to burn it in right now, but yeah. And then over here, this isn't really altar space. That's my Oma, and I have her one of her scarves here, and she really loved this color blue. And I found this actually randomly in my apartment after she passed. So she really actually loved this color blue. And so since I found this, I kind of associate her with butterflies. Even though I really associate her more with elephants because she collected elephant things. So that's that. And then this is my little jackalope girl. I actually got her commissioned, but she makes me happy. She's all pastel. And then this is my candelabra, which I suppose I could use for my candles and everything like that, but it just makes me happy. And then down here we have my tarot shelf, which is very slowly getting overrun. Like I'm running out of space here, but line strider, I put that there to hopefully get me to use it more. It's not working. I have my Bad Bitches Tarot, my Luminous Spirit, and my Star Child Akashic here, just because I love the boxes, so I like to display those. And then I have some decks here. Oops, I'm sorry. And then I have some decks here, and then I have decks here as well. And then in here I actually have, it's like a little metal thing, I actually have my Lenormand, my Kipper, and a couple more tarot decks in here. And then over here I have my tarot journal. I keep that there, and then a few of the guidebooks from the Enchanted Tarot, the Star Child Akashic, and the Cesarabito, my Il Mangelo, and a couple more oracles. So that is my tarot shelf. And then over here we have my, you're probably not interested in this stuff, but I actually do keep my sage here in my Marie Antoinette / Paris shelf, because I had nowhere else to put it. And then just my random shelves. And above my altar I have my Paris picture, and over here I have kind of like a little mood board, I guess you would say. But here I had my extra cards hanging here before I went and I got them a place on my altar. But I just have some cute little bunny ears, concert tickets from 2 years ago, me and my Oma and my Opa's wedding, beautiful old picture. And then I got this from a bouquet of flowers on my 30th birthday, and it was signed Love the Universe, and I never did figure out who sent them to me. The Field Museum from when I went a few years ago, and then more Paris, and an elephant for my Oma, and this was actually my favorite ornament that my Oma had on her Christmas tree, so I just keep it here all year round. And then over here I have my official mood board. I have my Asian inspired drawings, and I have my mood board, which I know you're probably not super interested in, but just quotes that make me feel like someday I will be loved in a romantic sense, a hot body that I wish I had, and clothes I wish I could wear, a house, apartment that I wish I could live in, places I wish I could work, cities I wish I could live in, men I wish would have the qualities of a man that I would want, a cute little baby, And then a kitty cat with a smoosh face. Alright, so I hope you guys liked that little tour thing. It's not a lot. I don't have much in the way of an altar, but now that I'm subscribed to the Moonbox, or as it's now known, the Witch's Moon, I am hoping to build my altar a little bit more. But I do like it minimalistic, and I do like it streamlined, only because I just work better decluttered, she says as she sits in front of a very cluttered bookshelf. But yes, in the video I did mention that I wanted to touch on some things that you saw there. I will do that a little bit later. It kind of segues from the hashtag tarot goals to that. So first, let's get to hashtag tarot goals. So I actually made this video before, but I couldn't upload it. Something went wrong between putting it on from my phone to my computer. Long story short, I ended up just deleting the video. So I'm gonna make it again. Hopefully I remember everything that I said then. I probably won't. Also, I apologize if you can hear my neighbors. As you know, I have very noisy neighbors. They have 3 boys, and I don't understand. They're home from school for Christmas break, as am I. So that's fantastic. But they go back before me. Suckers! Ooh, sorry. Okay, so my tarot goals for 2018. Well, I want to learn Thoth. I have a Thoth deck, and I also have the Hermetic Tarot, which is Thoth based. So I have those decks. I do want to learn how to use those. If you've seen my Thoth unboxing, I actually mention it in there, and I think I also mention it in my Hermetic Tarot unboxing. But I do have some resources on Amazon that I have on my wish list that I am trying to get in hopes of working with Thoth more. It's always intrigued me. I know there's a lot to learn with it, so I don't want to just jump in and get overwhelmed. I want to kind of like slowly step into it, but I want to learn Thoth. I also want to learn more Lenormand. I do have a Lenormand book. I just haven't had the time to dive into that yet. I have the book, I have a deck, a Lenormand deck, so and really just explore more systems besides just the ones that I'm used to now. I still am working on my reading intuitively. You guys probably are sick of hearing me say that, because I think I mentioned in almost every video that I'm trying to learn to read more intuitively, but it's true, I am. And I'm just working with I'm working out different ideas of how to get me there, if that makes any sense. I want to get rid of all the decks that I don't use anymore and that I'm not connecting with. So if you are interested in trades at all, just stay tuned for my hits and misses of Tarot 2017 video, because the misses in there will be up for trade. I just haven't listed them anywhere. I want to work more with Oracle. I know I said that this past year as well. I just haven't found a good way to meld the two. And now that I have the Nicoletta Sicoli Tarot and Oracle, I'm hoping that maybe that will kind of, I have like, you know, it's like a set. So I'm hoping maybe that will get me into that. Another tarot goal of mine for this coming year is I'm actually going to be working on my own deck. I have a few ideas already for some of the cards. I already know what printer I'm going to go through, and I have that squared away. I also have a general style, and it is going to be art based, so I just have to sit down and actually draw those out. but that's something that I'm going to be working on this coming year. I think that's it in terms of my tarot goals. It's not that many, but it's kind of overwhelming what I want to do. So that's typical Capricorn. Wah, wah. That concludes that part of the video. Now to the other part that I was kind of hinting at throughout this entire thing. So I don't know if this is a tag already or not. If it is, and I did not credit you, I apologize, but I haven't seen anything relating to this particular topic yet. So this I'm calling hashtag spiritual goals for 2018. So if you guys want to do like a video response to this is kind of like my first hashtag. Again, I don't know if somebody else has already done it or not, but to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything. But kind of going in theme with the tarot side of things, I kind of wanted to touch on my spiritual goals for 2018, which actually wasn't really on my radar at all until a few weeks ago. So settle in, it's gonna be a story time, y'all. I'm gonna scoot you closer. Story time. All right, so about a few weeks ago, I was watching a bunch of old Kellyanne Maddox videos, which I will link down below to her series of working with deity. And it's something I had never really even considered for myself. I'm not really a particularly spiritual person. I was raised Christian, but I don't really associate myself with the church or any of that. Very early on in my life, I'm gonna scooch back a little bit. From a very early age, I noticed a lot of things in the church that I personally did not like. So I distanced myself from the church at a very early age. I think it was like 12, 13, around then. I identify myself mainly as Buddhist. I was mainly watching Kellyanne's videos because A, I was bored, and B, I could listen to that girl talk forever about anything, and it's just like super calming and very interesting, and I learned a lot of stuff from her. So I'm sure everybody and their mom knows Kellyanne, so but I'll just leave her stuff down below of the videos that I was watching. And I ended up in this little kind of like tarot tube circle of like working with deity videos, and I don't know why that just caught my attention. Like, it intrigues me how somebody can work with deity. So I was watching a bunch of her videos, and then I noticed that Elise from Wild Moon Woman, she did a deity video, which I will also link below, and that was very interesting. And then also Katie Flowers did one, which I will link down below as well. So I was just watching these women and their experiences, and it was inspiring to me. So what I did was I decided I really want to work with deity. I think that's something that I'm open to, that's something that I would like to experience, that's something that I could probably use in my life right now. So, you know, I'm open to the experience. So I just kind of meditated, and I just kind of put the call into the universe saying, hey, I'm interested in working with, my eyebrow is real weird today. You see that? It's like half of me is like an evil villainess, and the other half is just like the good guy of the story. What's going on over here? Do you see that? Am I just crazy? Maybe it's the lighting. Nope, it's just my weird eyebrows. Cool. Anyways, so I just put the call out to the universe, hey, any deities interested in working with me, any whatever energy the universe wants to bring into my life right now to work with. I would greatly appreciate any lessons that I could be learned, anything, you know, that could be gleaned from this experience. I'm a history major. I don't know if I said that before or not. So I'm aware of the, you know, myths and, you know, the deities from around the world. And honestly, I was expecting certain deities to pop up saying, hey, let's work together. Because when I learn about them in my classes or when I read about them, I have such a strong connection to them. However, that ain't what happened. So I was fully and 100% expecting Horus to show up. I love Horus. That's my boo, okay? I love Horus so much. There's actually two hawks who live in the area around my school, and usually on the way to work or on the way to school, I usually always see them. So I'm always seeing hawks. I adore Horus and his myth, and I actually want to get an Eye of Horus tattoo. So I was fully expecting Horus to pop up. He didn't, and I was like, okay. And then I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe it could be like a Greek goddess or a Greek god. I'm super into Greek myth. I have been since I was like 13. So I was expecting someone like that to show up. But they didn't. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe an Indian goddess, because a few years back, and by a few years I mean probably like 5 years ago. Has it been that long? Yeah, it's been that long. So 5 years ago I had my spiritual friend who I mentioned in my altar tour. She actually had this huge, like, this thing was like thick, and it was a book of gods and goddesses, and she was like, turn to a random page and point to a point, just turn randomly and then point. And I was like, okay. She's like, I just want to see something. I was like, okay. So I was just like, I flipped and I pointed and it ended up on Kali. And she was like, oh, very interesting. So I was kind of like half expecting Kali to show up because of that incident. And it wasn't her either. It wasn't her either. So the night I put out the call to the universe that I wanted to work with deity, I actually had a dream. And doesn't surprise me, I dream every night. I actually get a lot of my information from dreams. I get a lot of signs and symbols from dreams. It's something that I've always had. I have very, very vivid dreams, and I was actually shocked when I learned for the first time that mostly everyone dreams in black and white, because my dreams are always in color. They're always crazy. So I have very vivid dreams. I usually have more than one dream a night. So I'm a very vivid dreamer. I actually have, since my Oma has passed, I've been visited by her in dreams before, multiple times. So dreams is how I mainly get my information. So I went to bed that night, and the dream I had after putting that out in the universe was very interesting. It was me, and I was sitting in a field with tall grass. It was about boob height, right under the underboob, right? So I was sitting in the grass, and in tall grass, green grass, and I was playing with a little tiger cub. And I was petting it and loving on it, and it was so cute. And I was just like filled with so much joy and happiness. And I woke up and I was like, Google it, Google it. I felt a very feminine energy in the dream, so I was like, I know it's not a male energy, so I Googled goddesses associated with tigers. And there were a few that came up. None of it felt right. Until I got to Kanyeon. And I was like, really? A tiger? And I guess in the myth it's either a tiger or a dragon. But in Chinese myths I usually go for the tiger. I don't know why, but in some cases it's a dragon that carries her off, and then in some cases it's a tiger. So she popped up and I was like, oh, Kanyeon. Oh, that kind of makes a lot of sense to me personally. Oh, and it's funny, and I use that term lightly, it's funny because I received this in the moon box. And I had been looking at the Kanyeon Oracle for on and off for about 6 months now, but I'm not an oracle person. I don't really do oracles. I don't read with oracles. I don't really use them. But it's beautiful and I felt connected to it in some kind of way, but I just never pulled the trigger and bought it. So I got gifted this in the moon box last month. It's my personal oracle reading, and it spoke to me very much so as soon as I read the back of the card. So, and the artwork is so gorgeous. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just all in my head. Maybe it's just like some crazy mixed up shit. It's just like association. It's just, it's not this. Like, it could be somebody else. So the next night, I was like, I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna do some meditation. I'm gonna visualize. And I'm gonna bring this energy into me while I'm waking. Right? I lit my candles. I actually use my Yule spray. It's very grounding to me. It's a very grounding scent. It instantly grounds me. It's ridiculous. I'm running out and I'm freaking out about it, man. I have to add more water to it or something because I need this to last me. But it instantly grounds me. It's a very earthy scent, and I'm a Capricorn, so my sun sign is an earth element. So I feel very grounded right away when I spray the spray around me. So spray my spray, light my candles, get into the zone, and it was almost instantaneous, which sometimes happens to me, but more often than not it doesn't. So it was very instantaneous, and I won't go into too much detail, but there was a door and I walked through it. And you guys, like I said, I don't want to go too much into it because I'm not still processing it. I know what happened. It's just, I feel very sensitive talking about this experience for some reason, but it was beautiful and gorgeous. And while I was meditating, I just had so much emotion that I started to cry. I've never cried in meditation before. I felt like an upwelling of emotion when I've meditated. I felt different things while meditating, but I've never actually cried, and I was crying. I was just like, tears just rolling. I don't know what it was, but they weren't like, I wasn't sad. It was just like beautiful and just overwhelming and gorgeous, and I couldn't hold in anything anymore, so it was just coming out as tears. Like, it was just amazing, and I've never had that experience before. And I know I know now without a doubt, but then I just knew, I saw a figure. Kanyen. It was Kanyen. Okay. So, and the tigers were there. The little baby tigers were there. And so I was like, oh, this is like affirming what my dream was. And then the next night after that, I went and I meditated again. And I went through the door again, right? And I went into this world again. And again, I had upwelling emotion. I didn't cry this time because I'm not a wuss. I'm a strong, independent Capricorn woman with a Scorpio moon. But I'm also a Cancer rising, so very emotional. No, but I didn't cry this time. But it was still very powerful and very moving. And then I came out of meditation, and for a few days I didn't meditate. I was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know. I think I need a minute. And so I started to think. I was like, am I going crazy? Am I a crazy person right now? Is this really happening? Or is my mind tricking me? Like, you know, like they say if you're a crazy person, you don't ask if you're crazy. But sometimes I wonder about myself. So I'm sitting there like, am I seriously is this seriously happening to me right now? Or is it something else? Like, because I have a bump on my head. I could have a tumor. I don't know. So I got a Kinder Egg for, I know this is a really weird segue, but stick with me here. I got 2 Kinder Eggs for Christmas because they're not illegal here anymore or something. I don't know. But I got 2 Kinder Eggs. I opened one. It was like, the toy was like a little robot thing, right? It was fun, whatever. I wasn't a fan. But I put it together and it was a thing that happened. So I opened the second one last night. And this was inside. This was inside. This little tiger. The tiger was inside the Kinder Egg. Now, look. It could be coincidence. Out of the thousands of Kinder Eggs that were there, my mom just happened to pick out one with a tiger in it. Yeah, could be. It could be coincidence. However, I've learned throughout my years that I shouldn't be stupid. And I should go ahead and pay attention to the signs that are provided to me by the universe. And it's a tiger. So, I had a moment in the kitchen, alone, as I stared at this little tiger in my hand. I was like, it's a tiger. So, yeah. That's my experience spiritually at the end of this year, going into next year. So I just wanted to share that, and I wanted to give a big shout out to Elise and Kellyanne and Katie for getting me into this craziness, because I blame you guys. But it's very interesting. It's not something that I thought I would ever do. It's not a path that I thought I would take. But I'm very interested in where this would lead me. I am ordering the Kanyen Oracle and resources on her to work more in depth with that. They're on my Amazon wish list right now, but I'm hoping to order them sometime soon, as soon as I get my finances all straightened out. And yeah, so that was my little spiritual story. So my spiritual goals in 2018 is to work more closely with Kanyen and to trust myself, I guess. Trust my experiences, trust my head, which is an issue all across the board, but I'm trying. So yeah, that was my experience, and I just wanted to share it with somebody. So thank you for listening. It's just crazy, and I've also been maybe this should be a separate video because I'm kind of going over in time, but I'm also noticing a lot more happening around me spiritually, and I kind of shut that off for a good long while for personal safety reasons, which I feel like should be another video. But if you guys want to hear that story of my yeah, I'll just make another video for that next year in a few weeks. But that stuff has been starting up again, so it's gonna be a very interesting 2018, I feel like. But anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble on. If you do the spiritual goals tag thing, please let me know. I would love to see them. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Because she is everything that I wish I could be. I wish I could be patient and caring and nurturing. Instead, I'm bitter and old and I will die alone. No, that's not true. It's probably true. Oh, here comes the depression. Yay. I'm fine. It's fine.